The year was 1798, and a fleet of ships stretched across the Mediterranean horizon as far as the eye could see. 400 vessels carried 35,000 French soldiers toward an ancient land, their destination kept secret even from the troops themselves. At the helm of this massive expedition stood a young general named Napoleon Bonaparte, his piercing gaze fixed on the distant shore, his dreams of glory as vast as the sea before him. This was no ordinary military campaign. This was an adventure that would change the course of history, bringing two worlds together in a clash that would reshape both East and West. The French campaign in Egypt was about to begin. The first light of dawn revealed the towers of Alexandria to the approaching fleet. The city's residents awakened to find their harbor filled with foreign ships, their beaches crowded with soldiers in blue uniforms. The initial landing was swift and decisive. Napoleon's forces secured the city within hours, but this was just the beginning. What made this campaign truly extraordinary was its dual nature. Alongside the soldiers marched 167 scholars, scientists, artists, and intellectuals. They carried not just weapons but tools of discovery, measuring instruments, sketchpads, and scientific equipment. This was both a military invasion and a cultural expedition. As the French army pushed south toward Cairo, they faced their first major challenge: the desert itself. The scorching sun beat down mercilessly on soldiers accustomed to European climates. Water was scarce, and the sand seemed to devour their energy with each step. Yet they pressed on, their determination matched only by their growing fascination with the land they were traversing. The pivotal moment came at the Battle of the Pyramids. Imagine the scene: 25,000 French soldiers in disciplined formation, facing a massive force of Mamluk warriors. The ancient pyramids loomed in the background, silent witnesses to this clash of civilizations. Napoleon, ever the master of motivation, called out to his troops, "Soldiers, from the heights of these pyramids, 40 centuries look down upon you." The battle that followed was spectacular but one-sided. The French military's modern tactics and superior firepower proved devastating against the brave but traditionally armed Mamluks. Cairo fell soon after, and with it, control of Egypt seemed assured. But this campaign was far more than a series of battles. In Cairo, the French established the Institute of Egypt, a center of learning that would produce one of history's most remarkable scientific works. Scholars spread across the country, documenting everything they encountered. They studied ancient monuments, collected specimens, and made detailed drawings of Egypt's flora, fauna, and architecture. Their discoveries were unprecedented. The famous Rosetta Stone, key to unlocking the mysteries of hieroglyphics, was unearthed during this campaign. Artists created detailed renderings of monuments that would later prove invaluable to archaeologists. Scientists cataloged countless species and studied the Nile's behavior. Yet even as these scholarly achievements mounted, the military situation grew increasingly precarious. The British Navy, led by Admiral Nelson, destroyed the French fleet at the Battle of the Nile, effectively stranding Napoleon's army. The local population, initially welcoming, began to resist French occupation. Disease spread through the ranks and supplies became scarce. The campaign took an unexpected turn when Ottoman forces threatened from the east. Napoleon led a bold expedition into Syria, capturing several cities before being stopped at Acre. The siege of this fortress city became a turning point. Despite repeated attempts, the French could not breach its walls. Meanwhile, plague ravaged their ranks, forcing a retreat back to Egypt. In August 1799, Napoleon made a decision that would be debated by historians for centuries. Learning of political turmoil in France, he secretly boarded a ship and sailed for Paris, leaving his army behind under the command of General Kleber. This marked the beginning of the end for the French presence in Egypt. The remaining French forces fought on valiantly, but their position became increasingly untenable. British and Ottoman forces tightened their grip, and by 1801, the last French soldiers negotiated their withdrawal from Egypt. Yet even in defeat, they managed to preserve something invaluable: the vast collection of scientific and cultural observations they had accumulated. The true legacy of the French campaign in Egypt cannot be measured in military terms alone. The monumental work that emerged from this expedition, Description de l'Egypte, became a foundation of modern Egyptology. It sparked a wave of fascination with ancient Egyptian culture that swept across Europe and continues to this day. Moreover, this campaign marked a turning point in East-West relations. It was the first modern European attempt to bridge the gap between these two worlds, albeit through conquest. The cultural exchange that occurred, though born of conflict, opened new channels of communication and understanding. The scholars who accompanied the army left us an invaluable record of Egypt as it existed at the cusp of the modern era. Their detailed drawings captured monuments and inscriptions that have since been lost to time, providing an irreplaceable window into the past. Their scientific observations laid the groundwork for future studies in fields ranging from biology to archaeology. The campaign's influence extended far beyond its military outcome. It transformed our understanding of ancient civilization, revolutionized the field of archaeology, and sparked a cultural renaissance that would influence art, architecture, and fashion for decades to come. As the last French ships departed Egyptian waters in 1801, they carried with them not just defeated soldiers, but a treasure trove of knowledge that would change how the world viewed this ancient land. The French campaign in Egypt, with its blend of military ambition and scientific curiosity, reminds us that even in the midst of conflict, human ingenuity and the quest for knowledge can produce lasting achievements that transcend the boundaries of victory and defeat. This remarkable chapter in history serves as a testament to human courage, curiosity, and the enduring power of cultural exchange. While the military campaign may have failed, its intellectual legacy continues to influence our understanding of the past and shape our appreciation of one of the world's most fascinating civilizations.